those songs just get stuck in
Yeah,
my
they
head.
really,
Yeah,
really
put
do.
it on repeat.
Yes. How you doing? Thank you so much for joining us for KARE 11 News at noon. You know, this is an important day. It's a somber anniversary for the nation as we mark 23 years since 9/11 terror attack. I cannot believe it's been 23 years. We're covering memorials from around the nation. They follow last night's much anticipated debate. All eyes were on that.
They really were, and I'll be walking us through some of the big moments, and I'll have analysis around how long and about what each candidate talked about.
And let's make sure that we get a first look at the weather. It feels good out there.
Summer-like weather continues to roll on. This will be basically what it's like for the next 7 days or so as far as temperatures go. 75 is our current temperature right now. Notice cooler temperatures up north. That's because we have some lingering cloud cover up towards the Bemidji and International Falls area. We're going to see sunshine basically throughout the day, although it is a bit on the hazy side. We do have some wildfire smoke that continues to be in our vicinity and even parts of northwestern Minnesota under air quality alerts, thanks to that wildfire smoke actually reaching the ground. Air quality should stay okay around the Twin Cities and much of Minnesota with respect to the northwestern part of the state. Here's a live look outside. You can see some of that haze on the horizon, and your hour-by-hour forecast does take us well into the 80s. We're looking at mid-80s for high temperatures the next 2 or 3 days before a slight cool down heading into the weekend. Warm and hazy. Spotty weekend showers are still possible, especially on Saturday, but I think it's going to be very isolated. Most of us will get through the weekend dry, including a good chunk of next week, and mild conditions roll on. Talk about when things might turn back to more fall-like conditions. That's in a couple of minutes. Alexis.
Ben, thank you. You probably won't be able to check your social media today without seeing something about last night's debate. For the first time, we saw Vice President Kamala Harris and former President Donald Trump go head to head. Cece, I know there were so many big moments from last night, but my goodness, what were some of the big ones?
Yeah, I'll really break all that down in just a few minutes. A lot of big moments, like Alexis said. And if you didn't get a chance to watch, it was a very heated debate. And while the debate covered policy from both candidates, their attacks on each other took center stage. And we'll get to that in a minute. But first, let's check out each candidate's social media post-debate here. We can see with Vice President Kamala Harris on her X account, she posted a couple of photos and said, "We are not going back," followed up by a video. She actually stopped by a debate watch party in Philly before the end of the night after everything wrapped up. She said, "Hard work is good work and we are going to win." Jumping over to Truth Social right after the debate, former President Donald Trump posting this picture that says reigning presidential debate champion. Now let's recap what happened. After the two shook hands, the debate started on the economy, considered one of the top issues for voters. Harris promised to support child and small business tax credits, while Trump praised low inflation under his administration. The candidates also addressed abortion, another key issue. After a fiery back and forth on stage, the two candidates spoke on how they felt about their debate performances.
This is very much two different visions for our country. Ours, which is a vision for the future, and his, which is about the past and taking us backward. And as I said on the debate stage, we are not going back.
This was my best debate. I thought it was very good. I thought she was very weak on foreign policy. She was very weak on the border, and I'm very happy. Was she your best debate?
Now, right now, it's not clear if there's going to be a second debate before the election, but both campaigns seem to suggest they'd be in favor of it, but they can't seem to agree on much else besides that.
I know everyone's group texts were just going crazy yesterday. So much to talk about. I know I've been seeing a lot of people very curious about how much time each candidate got to speak. What did you find?
Yeah, great question. So I did some digging a couple of hours ago, and actually I found answers on the New York Times here, as you can see, and also here on CNN, if it'll come up. Yes, on CNN here. So if we take a look, Trump spoke for around 43 minutes, Harris about 37 minutes. Keep in mind, it was about a 90-minute debate. The New York Times says Harris spent over 17 minutes of her 37 minutes attacking Trump, while Trump spent 13 minutes of his time attacking her. Now, if we scroll down and dig a little deeper here, we can get into the issues. The Times says the topics they spent the most time on here were the economy, you can see, and abortion. Alexis.
Cece, thanks for making us a little bit smarter today. Thank you. Well, today marks 23 years since the 9/11 attacks. Memorial events are planned all across the country to honor the people who lost their lives. At the Pentagon, the military paused this morning for an observance at the 9/11 memorial. The names of the people killed were read as a bell rang for each life. Secretary of Defense Lloyd Austin co-hosted the event honoring first responders and volunteers who stepped up to defend the U.S. after the terror attack.
We have repaired the damage to this building, but we cannot repair the damage to your hearts. No words can take away your grief. No amount of time can make sense of the worst terrorist attack in American history.
Memorials are being held throughout the day in Washington, D.C., New York, and Shanksville, Pennsylvania. 9/11 has become a day of service and remembrance for many Americans, and Governor Walz will be back in town to pitch in. In less than an hour, he's expected to join 1,000 volunteers across the Twin Cities coming together to help feed people experiencing food insecurity. They'll gather at the Roy Wilkins Auditorium to pack 300,000 meals, which will be donated to Second Harvest Heartland. And at Target Field, the Twins will join all of the MLB in remembrance of 9/11. Ahead of tonight's game versus the Los Angeles Angels, 6 wreaths will be placed behind the pitcher's mound in honor of those who lost their lives. There will also be a pregame flyover featuring a squadron based in Utah. In Wayzata, an event was held just a few hours ago in honor of 9/11, but it comes just after the memorial was vandalized. Audrey Russo shows us how it was impacted.
A $1,000 reward is on the table today for anyone who can ensure the safe return of a stolen piece of glass from the 9/11 memorial behind me here in Wayzata. Wayzata police are hoping to generate some new leads based off of this Facebook post. Take a look at it. You can see in the pictures where the piece of glass once was. Police say it was a park worker who discovered that it had been pried up and removed from the memorial sometime around August 29th. Police say the glass fragment is significant because it was discovered at the scene of Ground Zero near Gordy Amith Jr.'s remains when he died there 23 years ago. The Wayzata native was in the prime of his career as an investment banker. Police say it was an NYPD officer who actually brought the fragment all the way to Minnesota to be included in the memorial when it was established in 2021. The piece of glass sat there unmoved until last month. We spoke to Wayzata police this morning, who gave us an update on the case.
We haven't gotten any new leads. As you can tell, we're outside. There's not a lot of video surveillance in the area, and I suspect it probably happened maybe during the overnight hours. So we don't have any witnesses. So we're really relying on the public's help for any chance to find this artifact.
And the reward money here comes from the Wayzata Crime Prevention Coalition. They say that anyone with information or who may have the stolen glass in their possession can just reach out to police and return it. No questions asked. Back to you.
Audrey, thank you. An investigation into a years-long review of murder cases involving the former Ramsey County medical examiner is moving into its next phase. Dr. Michael McGee served as the county medical examiner from 1985 to 2019. In 2021, a federal judge in North Dakota accused him of, quote, unreliable, misleading, and inaccurate testimony during a murder trial that led to the overturning of a conviction. The second phase of the investigation just wrapped up, finding 7 out of the 71 cases needed further review. Those will be the focus of phase 3. But so far, officials are not announcing any final conclusions. We'll have more on the latest update tonight. Well, if you're a patient of Essentia Health and have Medicare Advantage, you're likely now joining thousands of Minnesota seniors trying to figure out what in the world to do as the company drops some Medicare Advantage insurance plans. It will stop taking those plans from United Healthcare and Humana because they delayed payments and denied claims twice as much as other plans. That affects roughly 20,000 patients in the Midwest, including 14,000 in Minnesota. Essentia says it's been trying to fix things with United Healthcare since October of last year. According to United Health, Essentia did not come to them until last week. They hope to renew the relationship. In a little over 3 hours, you can weigh in on a proposal that would ease restrictions on cannabis shops in St. Paul. If approved, cannabis shops could open anywhere other retail stores are allowed with some restrictions. A shop couldn't open within 300 feet of a school. It couldn't share an entrance with a tobacco shop, and it would need 24-hour surveillance when marijuana is allowed to be sold legally sometime next year. Now, city governments will oversee where and when it can be sold.
Right now, we have a look at some of the weather emergencies impacting the U.S. right now. We'll start with Hurricane Francine that's expected to hit Louisiana in just hours. By the time it makes landfall, it's expected to be a Category 2 hurricane. Rain has already hit and is getting stronger as the day goes on. People along the Gulf Coast are preparing and people are being asked to stay off the road. Storm surge watches and warnings stretch along the coast from Texas to the Mississippi-Alabama line with several evacuation orders in place. Now, further west, tens of thousands of people are now being asked to leave their homes as wildfires continue to burn out of control. Officials say the U.S. is now facing more than 70 large active fires. In Orange County, the airport fire is expanding rapidly and in a way that's been hard to predict. It started on Monday, and today about 1,400 homes are under evacuation orders.
Everything that's important is in my car, and we're heading down the hill, and we just hope we're going to be unpacking and having a beer to that.
2 other fires are nearby. The line fire is forcing nearly 5,000 evacuations, and the bridge fire in the Angeles National Forest is less than 30 miles from LA. Nevada, Arizona, Idaho, Montana, Oregon, Washington, and Wyoming are also facing wildfires.